Greetings and hello. This is Easy Cap, and welcome to my new game series of playing Sim Airport. It's a game I've played a while back actually, and I figured we'd give it another stab. I've got myself a new rig. I now see that there's some performance enhancements in some of the latest updates. Granted, that was quite some time back now, but I thought we'd give it a stab. So here we go. Thanks for joining us. Let's go with a new game of Sim Airport. So what we're going to try and do is we want to have a fully fledged airport up and running, ready for flights by the end of day 2. So we're going to start with a medium-sized map. We are going to start from scratch, which means we get $1 million to start with. We leave the rest of the defaults. And here we go. I definitely enjoy my cappuccinos, so I figure we're going to name the airport Capiport. Right, let's pause the game so we don't run through time and we have as much time as possible to get through all the objectives of having an airport ready at the end of day 2. Right, if we have a look, we start with the government grants. We have the first grant that's been given to us. We have started with $1 million. That looks like a lot, but by the time we've built a fair amount of foundation, that's going to disappear. So we're going to start with taking this first grant, which is constructing the airport. Build a functioning ticketing and security zone, build a functioning gate and runway, and a functioning baggage claim. And that unlocks the next tier for this track. Right, if we look at the other grants that we have to hire at least 2 janitors, place 10 bins. We'll only get that, I think, when we have our next, have an airport at least building going. Assign a rep. We've got some grants around investments, then airport efficiency, and maximizing profits. I think that we'll do much later on in the game. Right, let's get started. We've got $1.2 million. We're going to start off with the runway. Concrete or asphalt? I've never really known the difference between the two, other than the asphalt is cheaper, $10,000 a square. It's so much cheaper, I'm going to go with that one. Always remember when you're placing your runway that you're leaving space for all the additional items that you need to add to your runway lights and the like. So we can't build it too close to the road that gives us room. So I'm going to start the runway there, and let's see how far we can take it. We can take it to 16 blocks, 160 squares, and we can see as we adjust the length of the runway what flights we can take. And as it gets longer, there are more flights, more larger planes that we can take, but there really is no benefit to us going with a runway that's 160 blocks long, so we'll stick to 150. B767, 787, yep, those are sizable aircraft. We'll go with that. Let's build a taxiway. I'm starting with these because there are limitations on where you can place your building and distances from the runway. So we're going to start with that. Before we let that start running, we do need to hire some workmen. So I'm going to take that from the default 2 and hire 15 workmen. while they start with that, we can start with the foundation of the main building. We'll see if we try and put the building too close to the taxiway, we're not able to. See that it's highlighted in red there, we are too close. So I think let's start with our gates. The first gates we're going to start with early on in our airport, we're going to start with some small gates. I'm going to put down 2 small gates, and those of course are allowed to be right up against the building. So I'm going to make that 20 blocks by 40 blocks. That's quite a sizable concourse. We don't want to use up all of our money just yet. Let's put in an area for security and ticketing. That's really the main part of the building that all the passengers will come into. So let's start with that. You see we can't extend that further anyhow because we are too close to the taxiway. So that's probably a good place to start. We are a fair way away from the drop-off area, but it is we'll extend this part of the building. We'll extend it out as time goes by. I am going to see it. We've filled up our deliveries area, so I'm going to make the deliveries area bigger, and we'll move our pickups I think we should put, yeah, we'll put our pickups here. While that's going on, we should actually start with some research. So this is something very similar to a number of the other adventure simulation games, where you can unlock advancement levels and unlock items that you can build through the game through research. We have 4 categories here. We have construction, finance, operations and technology. I'm going to start with operations, I think. That's a good place to start. It's going to take us 10 hours to do the research, and then we can do finance. The advantage of finance is we get to unlock credit reporting and some of the income tax benefits, but the operations is the main one. We get some advancements around gate control. We have the train, we have access to the trains and land expansions. So that's a pretty key one to start with. Later on we'll go to construction, I think, where we can get some advanced features like maintenance and escalators. Just getting the game running in the background there, and we'll watch these guys get to work. Right, the team are almost ready with the last parts of the main building, so I'm going to just get them ready with the next piece of work, which is the fence. We need to build a fence to make sure that we don't have any renegades breaching the perimeter and jeopardizing the security of our flights. Alright, we're almost there. We're gonna get some doors. Get some sliding doors in front of those gates. And we'll get a large sliding door as an entrance into the building. We'll put this large door over. Yeah, okay, we'll put it there. We need to dismantle some of these walls. And we need to demarcate some zones now. So we'll mark that off as security. We need ticketing. And we need a baggage claim area. Right. Now that we have the basic shell, let's sort out each of these areas. Ticketing. I'm going to put down some ticketing desks. I think I'm going to create a wall as a barrier between security and ticketing, so we'll put down 4 ticketing desks. Let's build that wall. We're going to need, what do we need for security? So we need a bag scanner. We don't have the option of having remote stations just yet. I think that's something we still need to research. But we need a metal detector and ID check stands. Right, let's get some metal detector. Let's get the metal detector in. Make sure, looking at that arrow, it's pointing in the right direction. That looks right. We only have space for 2. We're going to have to make that area bigger if we want to grow that, but let's start with just the 2. A bag scanner next to each metal detector. I don't like where that is. Let's cancel that. We're going to move them up 1. Metal detector, that's always faced the right way. And if I recall, we can have 2 ID check stands per bag scanner. Okay, it is very tight, very compact, but that's okay, we will fix that as we grow the airport. I see that we have finished the research of operations, so we need to let's research finance. That's an important one, and we urgently need to have a COO. Once we have a COO, it'll unlock these, and in order to have a COO, we need an office. So where are we going to put these offices? Okay, let's create some more foundation space here. And we're going to create a temporary home for the... Oh, that's too close. Create a temporary home for the officers. How big do we want them to be? Will that do? Let's start with that. Okay, well, the team are getting ready with that. We also need to get our gate agent desks. I have found that having 2 gate agent desks per door, certainly on the smaller gates, works very well. So I'm going to put one on either side of the door. And we're going to create some queues. So I know it's very early on, but we can create these queues for our different class passengers. Having queues is one way of reducing frustration. One of the things you want to do is increase your passenger satisfaction score, and one of the criteria is their frustration. The longer they have to wait, the longer they are standing around mulling and not getting clarity, I guess, their frustration levels will climb. Right, let's have a look at some of these alarms. Yeah, we need to hire some staff. We need 4 more ticket agent staff. And for security, is it? We're probably going to need a bit more than that. And at least 1 aircraft gate must be functional. Yeah, as soon as we have the gate agent desks up and running, they will be functional. Let's try and increase the priority of those. Oh, that wasn't necessary. Okay, we're going to assign the gate to the desk and to a queue. Let's do the same thing here. Assign and assign it to the 2 queues. I'm going to make the first queue a first class queue only. Second queue is coach and first class. And yep, both desks are assigned. We'll do the same thing on this side. Assign, assign, and assign. Make the 1 queue a first class queue, and there we go. Our airport is now ready to take flights, and it is not even 11 o'clock on day 2. That's a warning about wind and weather conditions are worsening. If the weather is too bad, we're not going to be able to handle flights. Temporarily inactive because of the weather. So we can upgrade the runway, so let's do that. We want a runway lights. And let's put in instrument landing system, the ILS, must be placed within 15 meters of a runway. Maximum crosswind tolerance is increased from 12 to 20 knots. So that means even at 20 knots we'd be able to still take flights. Let's put that over there. And what does this do? Precision approach indicator provides a visual indicator to pilots of their approach, resulting in increased safety. Maximum crosswind tolerance is increased from 12 to 15. This is from 12 to 20. Do we need both? Do we need both? If we are already able to handle it to 20, I wonder. Maybe not. I've always just done both, but maybe it's not necessary. Okay, let's have a look at these offices. I think we can get by with an office that is 3 by 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. We can demolish those. Leave that wall there. What's that? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So let's dismantle these walls here. Let's put in a door on either side, and we'll put a door right over there. Ultimately, the offices are the kind of thing I want to build upstairs once we get to the second level, but we're not quite ready with that yet. So this foundation will be useful for that. Let's have the desks facing the right way. An office chair. Let's make them a little pretty, these offices. We'll put in a plant and some carpet. Should we give them some carpet? Yeah. Okay, we do need to make this area a lot more comfortable, make it prettier. We'll need to build some bathrooms. I think that's the next thing we need to do. Okay, let's have a look at where we are with our staff. We need 4 more staff. I'm assuming that's for our check-in gates. Now we need to hire some of these officers. Let's hire our COO. Not yet ready to hire a CFO, and he'll occupy that office in a moment. Okay, here come our, oh there, we've got 2 staff members and we've got our COO sitting in our offices. His name is Racy. Racy. Interesting. Okay, our counter staff are ready. I know this looks very sparse. We're going to now build some of the other items that we need. The most important one for us to start with is bathrooms. So let's start with that. Yeah, I think that's a good size. Each bathroom should be 4 by 4. We need 1 for gents, 1 for ladies. Let's put in a door. And let's get some stalls. And to ensure hygiene, let's build sinks, and let's give them a decent floor, a nice white tiled floor, floor 12. Okay, let's have a look at what else we could be researching here. Gate control. Let's just pause that game. We could be going with gate control. That's 24 hours. Allows you to configure gate related operations. light rail, multi-access, multiple drop-off, operations 2. That allows us to control bus, garbage, retail, light rail, standby gates. Okay, so I'm not sure what gate control does, but it sounds kind of important. I'm going to start with that. The light rail is important when we get to having our large gates. We're going to get huge numbers of passengers wanting to arrive at the airport at the same time, and the current bus transit's not going to be enough, so we are going to need that. Multi-lane access, I'm not sure that we really need much of that early on. When we build our parking lot, maybe we could do that. Multiple drop-off and pickups, that's for a very large airport. Operations 2 allows us to control those. Yeah, that's pretty useful, but $30,000 I don't have to spend right now. Standby gates, very, very important. That's something we're going to do as soon as we get our third gate in, I think. Really useful, but when we have multiple flights and might be arriving simultaneously, flights arrive late and their gates are either occupied or there's a problem, and so the flights will then park, or the planes will park at the standby gates. Alright, it looks like our bathroom is ready. All these alarms are here because, well, I haven't designated them as bathrooms. What are they? Restrooms. Restrooms. So we'll make one a female restroom and one for the gents. Alright. That's good stuff. We can actually do some work. Let's put in some work to make this prettier, right? So let's put in some ticketing kiosks so that passengers can buy tickets without having to queue at these counters. That reminds me, let's put in a queue over here. Let's start there. Let's assign to the queue. Assign. Assign. Oh, I love the sound of the rain. Okay. So we can just check our queues, the queue visualization. That looks correct. We've got 4 there. Should we have a queue here for security running right through our baggage claim? That's not particularly clever. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the foundation on this side. 52,000, we've got the money for that. And maybe we should look at getting one of the other grants. Passenger experience. So, passenger experience track, airports need to be happy tourists, a miserable place. Okay, what do we need for this one? Here we go. Looking in the wrong spot. Hire at least 2 janitors, place 10 bins, get the PAX environment to 60%. That we could do. Is that taking? Locked. Must complete the basic airport grant to unlock this. Oh no. Okay, click to accept. Run the airport for 2 full days. Build 2 ticketing kiosks, 3 normal XL flight info displays, and schedule at least 5 flights. Okay, so we've accepted that one. We have to run for 2 full days. That's unfortunate. So they want, what was the requirement there? How many displays and 3 normal or extra large flight info displays. And we have to watch the time. It's almost midnight. And we don't want, we have to have all of our flights scheduled before midnight, otherwise we're going to run another full day without any flights. So I'm going to rather put a small flight info display in this corner here. I know that's very compact, but that is just temporary. I want to dismantle these walls. And so we can move the baggage claim area out from behind security. So before we run out of time, let's get these flights booked before day 3. Not that. Let's have a look. We want to have a look at all these small flights that require small gates, and let's see what we can find. WestJet has a 737 which takes 180 passengers. That's an AM slot. Aerotime has a 195, E195, what's that? 90 passengers, that's good. I'm happy with that. Can we accept a PM flight? A CRJ 900, what is that? 75 passengers, yeah, I'm good with that. And 3 afternoon flights. Let's get these scheduled. I'm going to stick with your default layover times. That has to go in the PM slot. Who else likes a specific? We have some, yep, afternoon slots. Is that a beach 19? Not particularly interested in that. But the A320 we can take. Did I accept a, what flight did I accept there? A320. Ah, 19 passengers, okay. That one's also 19 passengers. Ah, that was silly. Okay. Ideally we want flights with lots of passengers, because that's where we make our money. And that's it for the flights. How many flights do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're not able to schedule any more flights because we don't have a control tower, ATC tower, to accommodate more than 10 flights per day. Ah! Do we have money? Yes, let's build a tower. And it's locked. We need to unlock a grant. So we're stuck with 10 flights. And the other thing we need to do is try and maximize our profit from those flights. So under commercial pricing, we're going to charge $1,400 for runway usage, and let's go with $80 per passenger. Yep, that's what we're going to go with. We are now ready. We have 10 flights booked, and we are ready for business. Folk, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've found today interesting. Stick around for the next episode where we will then be building our next gate and taking this further. This is Easy Cap signing off for today.